Is there any way that you and Vicky can keep Kevin's friend Stephanie from having to live with Carla?
Well, Vicky's talking to lawyers this morning. We'll see. Pa?
Hi.
You okay?
Fine. Did you get your business calls made?
Yep. Leanne, looks like a vulture waiting for the kill.
Darling, I wish you would let go of that girl.
She's a redneck vampire just like her mama. Oh, the she-devil here, she beats all of them.
Well, she sure knows her stuff.
You admire her, Bo? Gonna put my wife in prison.
No, your wife is innocent. She's not going to prison, Pa.
Did you have a little head talk with Tina about her testimony?
She's not here yet, Asa. I did talk with Kevin.
Kevin? Why'd you call Kevin?
He's been subpoenaed to testify. The DA put him on her list this morning.
You hold on. My grandson is gonna testify against his own grandmother?
Take your places, please, folks.
What the hell is going on, John?
I guess we're gonna find out with everybody else, Pa. Come on.
County Court of Common Pleas is now in session. The Honorable Judge Barbara Fitzwater presiding. All rise.
How are you?
Okay.
Be seated.
I'm just gonna make the jury understand that my grandmother's not guilty.
Well, that's what this justice system is all about. Protecting the good guys and punishing the bad guys.
Miss Hahn, please proceed.
Prosecution calls Kevin Buchanan.
Kevin Buchanan.
Renee went down to the stables to reason with Duane. That's good, because everybody knows that Renee is a very reasonable woman. Good.
Tina?
Cord.
What are you doing here? I was waiting for you down at the courthouse.
I'm on my way. I was just here trying to, you know, get everything set in my mind right before my testimony. I just want it to be right. You know how rattled I get when I have to talk in front of people.
Tina, come on, there's no need for you to be nervous here.
Cord, I am supposed to testify for the prosecution against my best friend, against a woman who has gone out on a limb.
All right.
After limb for me.
Listen, Renee knows exactly what happened, all right? She knows that you didn't go into the DA's office. You didn't volunteer to testify. They subpoenaed you. So all you can do now is go in there, go on the stand and testify and tell the truth. That's all you can do, Tina.
I can't.
Tina, if you don't testify, I'm telling you, the DA is going to send cops out here and drag you into that courtroom.
I'm going to testify, Cord. I'm not going to tell the truth. You should have stayed in bed, Alex.
Look, I felt fine. I just wanted to come here for John and Renee, that's all. It didn't hit me till I got to the courthouse. You don't have to stay with me, Cassie.
Alex, I am not leaving you here.
No, really, I'll be fine. Go back to the courtroom.
Oh, Lord, this is so much worse than yesterday. Alex, come on, I'm getting you to a doctor. No!
Here's what to do when you don't find the rainbows in this time. Here's where you go when it looks like the rain won't end. Don't cry. I'll give you tomorrow. Let me be the one to share it with. And each day that follows, 'cause we only have one life to live.
You're as pale as a ghost. You have got to go to a doctor.
I can't.
Why not?
Because I feel like I'm gonna faint.
Come on over here and lie down.
Oh, I don't want to lie down on this. Oh, what difference does it make? I feel like I'm gonna die. Oh. Oh.
Alex?
Oh.
Alex?
Oh.
I better get an ambulance.
No, I'm gonna be all right. I'm gonna be all right.
Alex, believe me, you are not going to be all right. You need help, and you need it fast.
Look, I am not going in an ambulance, and I am not going to a hospital.
Okay? Then I will call my doctor. Tell her we'll come over as soon as we can.
Oh.
You want some water?
No, ice. I'd like some ice. Please.
Okay, I'll get some.
Thanks.
Don't move, okay?
I'm not moving.
Oh, no. Bo's gonna be wondering where I am. I'd better call and let him know as soon as I see the doctor.
No, Bo, don't bother him with this.
Alex, I will be right back.
Hello, Alex. I just saw Cassie leaving. She looked frantic. Oh, Alex, dear, you read. Obviously, things are going quite well. You know, you better hope that I die, Dorian. Because if I don't, I'm going to kill you.
Cord, how is that gonna sound? It's gonna make it look like Renee is guilty, and I'm not gonna do that. Besides, I'm the only one who knows what happens that night in the stable besides Duane, and Duane can't testify. So how can the DA prove that I'm lying?
Look, I know how much you love Renee. I know how afraid you must be for her right now.
Cord, I am not gonna send her to prison. I will not do that.
Tina, you won't send her to prison. She is innocent.
If I go and I tell the jury that I walked in on Renee holding a gun on Duane and threatening to kill her, they're not even gonna have to deliberate. They're gonna take a vote and they're gonna convict her in less than an hour.
All right, look. John has got other tactics up his sleeve. Tina, he's got the thread that we found in the bushes.
Cord, the police don't care about that thread. God, I don't think I could live with myself if Renee went to prison because of this.
I don't believe this, Tina. Come on. Why is it any time you get in a little bit of a bind, you automatically revert back to your old ways? You keep telling me how many times you've changed, Tina. But now, when you get a chance, you just keep on scheming and planning a lie again. Well, your lies are not going to help Renee. Tina, your lies could end up hurting yourself.
Cord, the only person who's gonna know that I'm lying is Renee, and she's not gonna tell anyone, so it will help her, Cord. That's all I care
Tina,
about is
this
Renee.
is wrong. You can't do it.
No. You better get to court. I love my personal library.
Asa Buchanan is your grandfather?
Yes.
So his wife, Renee Buchanan, is your grandmother by marriage?
Yes, she is. And we're all happy to have her as a part of the family.
Mr. Strike, Your Honor.
Objection.
Overruled. Young man, answer the questions without giving opinions.
Doesn't the jury have a right to know something about my grandmother?
Objection, Your Honor. I want Mr. Buchanan declared a hostile witness.
I see nothing hostile about this witness, Miss Hahn. He loves his grandmother, and I, for one, applaud him for it. However, Mr. Buchanan, let us follow the rules here, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Your Honor.
Your half-sister, Megan Gordon, was married on May 17th. Is that right?
Yes.
And the reception was held at the
Thanks
Buchanan
for coming.
Palace.
Yeah, well, I figured if your uncle shows
Now,
up
the
while
member
Kev's
of the family,
testifying,
you attended the wedding and the
I'll protect you.
reception, did you not?
Thanks, Joey.
Most wedding
So how's he
receptions
doing?
are happy occasions.
Just great.
A lot of laughter. Good cheer. Isn't that right, Mr. Buchanan?
Objection, Your Honor. I think this line of questioning is totally
Your Honor,
irrelevant.
if counsel will allow
All
me
right.
to finish.
If you have a point to make, Miss Hahn, do it now, or I will sustain counsel's objection.
At the wedding reception, did you witness an angry confrontation between your grandmother and the deceased, Duane Demarest?
No. I kind of passed by and heard them talking.
Heard them talking. Oh, were they laughing? Having a good time?
Laughing? I guess not. Not really.
The fact is, they were very angry with each other, weren't they?
Well, they weren't shouting or anything, if that's what you mean.
Mr. Buchanan, do you think your grandmother threatened Mrs. Demarest's life?
No. That's not what she was doing. My grandmother could never hurt anyone, much less
Move to
kill.
strike, Your Honor.
Objection, Your Honor. The DA just asked for an opinion.
I'll rephrase the question, Your Honor.
Mr. Russell?
What exactly did you hear your grandmother saying to Mrs. Demarest?
Well, I didn't hear the whole conversation. Like I said, I was passing by and just caught the tail
What
end
did
of
your
it.
grandmother say?
I'm trying to tell you.
All right. Let's just hear the words and have you repeat them.
Well, let's see. Well, it was something like, one day you'll go too far and I'll stop you. But that doesn't mean that she was threatening Duane's life.
Move to strike the last sentence, Mr. Buchanan. I asked for the words. I did not ask for an explanation of their meaning. That is for the jury to decide.
Objection.
Overruled. Strike the last sentence.
So your grandmother said, one day you'll go too far and I'll stop you.
Yes.
No further question.
Mr. Russell?
Mrs. Demarest worked for your grandmother.
Yes. She took care of Max's son and did other things around the house.
Did your grandmother ever mention the word blackmail?
No, I didn't know anything about the blackmail.
So she may have just been expressing her dissatisfaction with Mrs. Demarest's work.
Objection. He's asking for a conclusion.
Sustained.
Look, the thing that everybody has to know about my grandmother is even if she was angry and upset, she would never kill anyone.
Objection. Move to strike.
Sustained. Strike the witness's last speech.
Isn't anybody interested in the truth here?
No further questions.
The witness is excused.
But, Your Honor...
Thank you for your testimony, Mr. Buchanan. You may step down.
This couch is absolutely appalling. Why didn't you have Cassie take you to the attorney's lounge instead of this dreary bathroom?
We're lucky that I made it here. I almost passed out in the corridor.
Well, I'm certainly glad you didn't. That would have created such a scene.
Look, Dorian, something's really wrong, okay? As awful as I felt yesterday, I feel even worse today.
Well, how much medication did you take?
The same amount as I took yesterday.
Well, then trust me. It won't hurt you.
It won't hurt me. I feel like I'm dying.
Well, I won't let you die. Well, because then Bo and Cassie would be drawn even closer in their misery, and before you know it, I'll have Buchanans for in-laws. Oh, Alex, think what a laugh we'll have over this at your wedding to Bo, hmm?
I'm not going to live long enough to marry Bo.
Of course you will. And really, you've been such a trooper. I'm so proud of you.
Dorian, look. I don't want to be a trooper, okay? I just want to feel better. So give me some of that antidote.
Alex, I don't have any with me. And even if I did, I couldn't give it to you.
Oh, Dorian, make the room stop spinning.
Oh, Alex, we have got to play this thing out. You've already convinced Cassie something's wrong with you. Really, this is going better than I even anticipated.
No, it's dreadful. It's a disaster, okay? Cassie is calling her doctor right now. She wants to take me to her doctor. I can't go to her doctor because her doctor will take a blood test, he'll find the medication, and then you and I will come out looking like lunatics or worse.
Oh, no, calm down and listen to me.
Listening to you is what caused me this problem in the first place.
All right. Now, Bo made it perfectly clear to you he didn't want to make a commitment to you. And he was very anxious to get you out of his life so he could court Cassie. Now, Alex, I am sorry, but those are the facts. And unless you want him out of your life completely, you have to take advantage of this opportunity. Isn't a lifetime of happiness with Bo worth a few hours of discomfort?
Dorian, you don't...
Oh, Dorian. Oh, no.
There was no reason for my grandson to be put through the meat grinder up there, John.
There's no way I could stop his testimony, Asa.
Darling, I think he did a wonderful job. He was trying to protect me.
Well, I was watching the jury, and I don't think they liked the way the DA put him through the grinder. I think it just might backfire right in their face.
Oh, Megan.
How's it going?
It could be better. Could be worse.
I'm sorry I haven't been here to support you. I've been working almost every day.
Oh, darling, if anybody understands that, I do. How's Jake?
He's fine. He sends his love. He's in Milan right now.
Well, Megan, you should be here, helping to find Duane's killer.
Pay him absolutely no mind. Come on, I want to hear about Jake.
Hi.
Doesn't look good, does it?
Nope.
Well, I think you better find the person that killed that woman.
Well, I'm working on it.
I assume that's why I haven't seen you a few days.
Jealous?
Not if you're working to free Renee. But if you have found some foxy young woman to,
I have found a foxy young woman, and she is right in front of me.
Hey, Troy, excuse me, any word on the threads?
What threads?
A court found some fibers on the bush near Ace's stable.
That belonged to the killer, maybe?
Well, we hope.
We're working on it, but no word yet.
Did you go through Carlos' suite?
Yeah.
And?
I can't comment yet, but as soon as I can, I'll let you know.
All right. Yeah, have you seen Kevin around?
Excuse me, but, Bo, can I talk to you a minute?
Yeah, let's step outside. Excuse me.
It's okay.
Looking for you, Ken.
Alex is sick, Bo. She's really sick.
Well, where is she?
In the ladies' room.
What's wrong?
Same thing that happened yesterday.
You know, she ought to see a doctor.
I'm going to take her to my doctor right now, but I wanted to let you know. I called Quincy. He's headed over to cover the trial. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. Is that a new blouse?
Yes.
It's really pretty.
Thanks. How's it going?
Well, Kevin gave some pretty damaging testimony.
Oh, no.
It's Depression City.
I'm sorry.
Look, how long are you going to be with Alex?
Maybe an hour. I'm going to take her home after she sees the doctor.
Well, that's about the time we break for lunch, so maybe we could still get together, grab a bite. You could help cheer me up for the day.
You're on.
Yeah, thanks. And thanks for taking care of Alex. Tell her I hope she's feeling better.
Yeah, I will. See you later.
So, what's it gonna be? Tina, you gonna tell the truth?
I don't know, Cord. I just don't know.
Hey, Kev, you okay?
I guess everyone's about ready to blast me out of the family, huh?
No, nobody's mad at you, Kevin.
I wouldn't blame them if they were.
Look, you were in a tough spot. We all understand that.
Man, I didn't want to say any of those things, Uncle Bo.
We know that. Kevin, you didn't
Then
have a
how can
choice.
the DA get away with that stuff?
Because, unfortunately, her job is to convict Renee.
I thought her job was to find out the truth.
I mean, she didn't even give Kevin a chance to explain anything.
Yeah, well, sometimes things happen that we really don't like, but all in all, this system really does work.
Couldn't prove that by me.
Kevin, Renee's really worried about you, so why don't you go in, give her a kiss so that she knows you're okay. You better ditch those soda cans first.
All right. We'll be right.
See you in there.
Hello, Stephanie.
Uncle Carlo.
May I speak with you? Alone?
Oh, my God. I look like Frankenstein. I don't even care.
Now, dear.
Don't, dear. Just give me some mints or something.
Here they are. Oh, here. Let me do it.
I got one.
Oh, all right. Oh, you're gonna choke. Come on. Sit down here. Alex, darling, I know you're feeling miserable now, but in a few hours, these symptoms will disappear.
Didn't you hear me? Cassie's going to her doctor.
Yes, of course I heard you. And I have the perfect solution. You see, I have a very dear friend who will help us out. He's a doctor, and he just happens to be having an affair with a woman on my staff. I'll call him, tell him to expect you, and he'll take care of everything.
Oh, Dorian, what are you going to do? Blackmail this guy?
Oh, no, don't be silly. He's a very dear friend. He'll be happy to do me a favor. Now, I'm going to put his card in your purse. And when Cassie comes back, you just tell her you want to see your own doctor. Alex, everything is going perfectly. I never dreamed it would be this easy.
Easy?
Yes. Instead of Cassie sitting with Bo in the courtroom, she's spending the entire morning taking care of you. By the afternoon, you're going to feel on top of the world, facing a bright, beautiful future with Bo. Right, now, I really hate to leave you, but I have to. I don't want Cassie to see me. But now you call me after you've seen the doctor, all right?
Can you open the door? I'm coming. I'm coming, Cassie. I'm coming. Oh.
Okay. Oh.
Oh, there you go. Come on in.
Why did you lock the door?
I just didn't want anybody to see me. This way.
Are you feeling any better?
Not much. Not much. I really would like to get out of here now, though. I really think it'd be a good idea.
Okay, I called the doctor. She said she'll see you as soon as we get there.
Okay.
Can you make it to the parking lot?
Yes. Okay, yes.
Okay. Oh, no, I don't think so. Okay, come on. Okay,
So
lie
go back
down.
and sit down. We'll just sit down. We'll just sit down.
Poor girl.
Yeah, some poor girl.
Darling, she's absolutely lost in her grief.
She's not grieving, Renee. She's plotting ways to make sure you're convicted of murder, so stop feeling sorry for her. Start feeling sorry for yourself.
I have nothing to feel sorry for. I am totally innocent. And despite all the damaging testimony, I have every faith that the jury's going to believe me.
I have faith too, Renee. I really do. I think when John gets his chance, he's going to show the jury what kind of a woman you really are. I'll even take the stand and tell him I had to get married 5 times to find that one woman in this whole world that I could really love. Hell, I'd do anything to keep you out of prison.
Hi. God, if I could get on the next plane to Europe. I don't want to be here.
It's all right, darling. I'm just very sorry that I brought you into my mess.
No, you didn't bring me into any mess. Renee, I wanted to help, and I still do.
Look, Tina, if you really want to help, all you have to do is tell the truth.
Make sure your testimony doesn't put a noose around my wife's neck.
Asa.
Remember everything she has done for you. I hope you're willing to stand up and protect her.
Asa, you know I would never hurt her.
And you're going to have to lie on the stand. Because if you don't, my wife will go to prison. Then it's you and me, Tina. You understand me?
If you've got something to say to her, well, then you can say it in front of me.
Stephanie is my niece, and I will
Yeah, well,
talk
she's
to
also
her
my
whenever
friend.
I want. It's a
Please,
legal
just
right that
stop
I
it.
have. All right. I don't want to argue with you or Kevin. I just want to know if you made a decision about coming to live with me.
Uncle
I have my real estate agent looking for a house for us. If you want to pick it out yourself, you can. Any place you choose. We can make it a home, our home. I can't replace your parents. I won't even try. But we are family. I want you to be able to rely upon me, depend upon me. Even love me if you give it half a chance.
Everything Daddy said about you is true.
No, it's not true. I told you I made my share of mistakes. But I'm different than the man your father once knew.
Bull. John Russell thinks you're the one that killed Duane.
John Russell is wrong. I did everything in my power to protect your grandmother. I didn't kill that woman. You have to believe me.
Give me a break.
Now, Stephanie, if you'll just try to give me a chance
I
to
don't
explain
want
everything
to
to
live
you
with
that
you,
would
Uncle
work in the
Carlo.
relationship.
There's your
I
answer. I guess it's time to say
no,
goodbye.
stay out of this, Kevin.
No.
This is between me and my niece. It's none of your business.
I made it my business. Now, Stephanie is going home to Landfair, a real home. If she wants to talk to you, she'll call you.
Maybe I should get Bo to help you down to the car.
No, I can make it on my own, thanks.
He won't mind, Alex. He was upset when I told him you weren't feeling
I said no. He needs to, stay here with his family for the trial, see?
Alex, take it easy. Maybe you should rest a little more.
No, really. I'm feeling a lot stronger. It feels so good. Back of my neck.
Oh. Yeah, I'll get some dry towels. Okay. There's more ice in the cup if you want it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, out of towels. I'll get some tissue.
No!
No, Cassie.
I have tissue here in my purse.
Okay. You must have some sort of intestinal virus or something, don't you think?
Yeah, I guess so.
You never had this before?
No.
Okay, take it easy. Pour
Just come up slowly. Okay, okay, okay. I'm gonna be fine. Oh, just fine. Do you want to comb your hair before we leave?
Oh, is it a mess?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Here's my brush, and I think I need my sunglasses.
Okay. If you could just get me my sunglasses there. Do you want your lipstick?
No, we'll just do that in the car. I think
Okay.
we better get out of here right away.
Okay. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, let's go. What was that?
Just me. I had another one of those nauseous waves. So.
Okay. Come on.
I'm next? But I thought I wasn't supposed to say anything until this
DA
afternoon.
changed the order of things, Tina.
But can't she do that? Is that legal?
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
Oh, God, I thought I had more time.
Look, just relax. Answer the questions as briefly as possible. You'll be okay.
Okay.
And as honestly as possible.
Exactly. I'm gonna go check on Renee.
Court, you got a handkerchief?
Yeah. Why? You gonna cry?
No, my hands are sweaty.
Good luck, Tina. Listen, we're behind you all the way.
Thanks, Bo.
Thanks. No, he's right, Tina. We are behind you no matter what, especially if you get up there and you tell the truth. Now, come on, you saw what Kevin did, right? Nobody is mad at him. Nobody's gonna be mad at you.
I don't care if everybody's mad at me. I'm used to that. Oh, did you see Renee's eyes? I mean, the fear in her eyes. She's trying to be so brave, but
Tina, I
she's
know
just not.
what you're thinking, all right? And forget about it. Now, Renee is gonna be acquitted, all right? I don't want you to do anything to get yourself in trouble.
All rise. County Court of Common Pleas, the Honorable Barbara Fitzwater presiding. Be seated.
Miss Hahn, your next witness, please.
The prosecution calls Tina Lord Roberts.
Tina Lord Roberts.
Defendant Renee Buchanan are very good friends, are you not?
Yes.
How long have you known that Mrs. Demarest was blackmailing Mrs. Buchanan?
How long?
Did Renee Buchanan confide in you almost immediately after the threats began?
I guess it was a couple of weeks or so. I'm not sure.
But for quite a long time, you were the only person who knew about Mrs. Buchanan's dilemma.
Well,
yes or no?
Yes.
You agreed that Mrs. Buchanan should pay the blackmail?
No, I didn't want her to. No, I didn't agree, but I realized it was her decision, and I wanted to do everything I could to help.
How did you help her?
Well, I did what friends do. I listened, and I offered her support, and...
Did you do anything more specific than pat Mrs. Buchanan's hand? Answer the question, please.
I helped her get samples of hair for the DNA test, and I went with her to the doctor in Philadelphia.
And why did Mrs. Buchanan consider the DNA test necessary?
Because she was hoping it would prove that Max was Ace's son.
That's the reason Mrs. Demarest was blackmailing her? She knew that Max Holden was not Asa Buchanan's son?
Yes.
What was Mrs. Buchanan's state of mind during
Objection, Your Honor. The witness obviously is not a medical expert.
I'm hardly asking her for a psychiatric evaluation. Mrs. Roberts and Mrs. Buchanan are friends who shared a secret and a terrible dilemma. They were working in concert to try and end these blackmail payments, and they discussed the situation in detail.
She has a point, Mr. Russell.
All right.
Overruled.
So how would you describe Mrs. Buchanan's state of mind?
She was upset. I mean, wouldn't you be upset if someone was blackmailing you?
Of course. So why is it that she didn't just tell her husband the truth about Max Holden?
Because Asa he'd been in the hospital earlier this year for a heart problem, and she was afraid he might have a heart attack.
So rather than upset her husband, possibly causing him to have a heart attack, she continued to meet the blackmail payments?
She was trying to figure out what to do. She was in a really terrible bind, and there didn't seem to be any way out. No, what I mean is that there was...
No, you were perfectly clear. She was in a bind with seemingly no way out. Now, Mrs. Buchanan loved her husband so much that she couldn't bear to hurt him. Is that right?
Yes.
Yet she continued her relationship with Carlo Hesser.
She did not
depending
have
on
a
his love and
relationship
support.
with Carlo Hesser. She wanted him out of her life.
But he was in her life. She turned to him for help. She met him in the park.
No, she didn't ask him to meet her in the park. He just happened to be there. I don't even know how he... No, maybe he followed her or something, but Carlo found out about the blackmail. I don't even know how, and he offered her help.
And she accepted?
No, I mean, not at first. She told him to stay out of it.
The first meeting in the park. Did Mrs. Demarest witness this meeting?
Yes.
And did Mrs. Buchanan then meet with Mr. Hesser a second time in the park?
Yes.
Did Mrs. Demarest witness this meeting?
No.
Who did witness this encounter with Mr. Hesser? Was it Asa Buchanan?
Duane set it up. She wrote him a note.
So Mr. Buchanan rushed to the park to confront Mr. Hesser.
Yes.
This must have been very upsetting to Mrs. Buchanan.
Yes.
Would you say that this was the last straw, so to speak?
I don't know what you mean.
Mrs. Buchanan she was frantic at this time. It was getting harder and harder to conceal these secrets from her husband.
She was pretty upset.
And she decided to take action, to confront Mrs. Demarest.
She tried to reason with Duane, to get her to stop doing the blackmail, to go back to Texas.
This is the conversation that took place in the Buchanan stables.
Yes.
Did Mrs. Demarest agree to back off, to move back to Texas?
No.
And how did Mrs. Buchanan respond?
I walked in at the end of the conversation.
Well, what did you overhear Mrs. Buchanan saying to Mrs. Demarest?
I don't know. It was she tried to reason with her.
You're telling us that at this time, Mrs. Buchanan was calm, rational, unemotional.
No, I'm not saying that.
Well, then how would you describe her demeanor?
She was upset, I guess.
Okay. What did she say to Mrs. Demarest?
I walked in and I didn't get the exact words exactly right because they were arguing and they were both angry, and Duane ended up leaving and going back to the house.
Mrs. Roberts, in your deposition before the trial began, you stated that the defendant was holding a gun on Mrs. Demarest, threatening to kill her. You further stated that you took the gun away from Mrs. Buchanan. Are you now saying that you did not see a gun? That you did not take this gun away from Mrs. Buchanan? Well, you are under oath, Mrs. Roberts. You swore to tell the truth.
I'm not lying.
You've just conveniently forgotten that Mrs. Buchanan was threatening Mrs. Demarest with a gun. Did you forget? Or are you deliberately lying?
Objection, Your Honor.
I'll rephrase, Your Honor. Did you see Mrs. Buchanan aim a gun at Mrs. Demarest?
I am not lying. Renee could never
You are
hurt
not
anyone.
answering the question, Mrs.
No,
Roberts.
I told you that I was not lying.
Did
You think you bullied her into lying up there? What'd you do, threaten to have her thrown out of the family?
Everything was
Bully her than anything. I pointed out how much Renee has done for her.
Lying on the stand is not gonna help Renee.
Listen to me, boy.
Just calm down.
Gentlemen, if you feel you must talk with each other, I wish you would do so outside of my courtroom.
Sorry, Your Honor.
I apologize, Your Honor. I was commending
Sit
Tina
down,
on the
Mr.
loyalty.
Buchanan.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
And you, Mrs. Roberts, you are flirting with danger if you do not answer truthfully the district attorney's question. Did you see Mrs. Buchanan hold a gun on Mrs. Demarest?
You're really terrific with my Uncle Carlo.
Yeah, I wish I'd punched his lights out.
Oh, then you'd be just like him. Is that what you want?
No, what I want is some food. Are you hungry?
Yes.
You know what this lousy system works for? People like Carlo Hesser. Yeah, that's the reason he's not in prison. He always beats the rap. And then innocent people like my grandmother don't have any chance.
Well, do you know that for a fact? About my uncle, you know.
Yes, I do know. And so does my Uncle Bo. And so do my parents. And so does everybody else in this town. You know that house that he wants to buy for you? He'll buy it with drug money. Guaranteed. Man, Jessica's got everything out of place in this kitchen. What are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm making a milkshake. You want some? It's strawberry.
You're amazing.
Well, not really. Well, I watched Jessica put everything away, and that's how I figured out where everything was.
Uh-huh.
It's good. Come on, let's hear it.
It's the shake of all shakes. You know, how can I go from feeling like I want to tear Carlo apart to feeling so great?
It must be the strawberry.
Oh, you think so?
Well, I've heard that they have magical powers.
Magical powers?
Yes, well, what else could it be? What's that?
It's probably Joey locked himself out. Nobody's home.
I want to see my niece.
Yeah, well, she doesn't want to see you.
Step aside, Kevin.
Look, I don't take orders from you.
What are you doing here?
I'm sorry I have to do this, Stephanie, but you haven't given me any choice.
I don't want to go home with you. I mean, if you think I'm going to go home with you, then forget it.
I'm your legal guardian. I have a court order to take you home.
Alex, what did the doctor say? It's obviously a shock, but don't worry. Whatever it is, you can see another doctor, see experts, get a second opinion.
I'm healthy.
What?
There isn't anything wrong with me.
There has to be something, Alex. I spent the whole morning with you in the ladies' room. Are you saying it's something like nerves or overwork or something?
Cassie, you're not going to believe this.
What?
I'm having trouble believing this myself.
What?
I'm pregnant. Isn't that incredible?
The doctor's sure?
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely sure. I have been wanting a baby for so long. I mean, I had that biological clock going off. I was always worried about it, and then I stopped worrying about it because I thought it would never happen, and now when I least expect it, I'm expecting it.
I'm just numb. So this isn't something you planned?
Well, no. Why would you think I planned it?
Well, You're a very sophisticated woman, Alex, and I just thought you'd
be more careful.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, well, sometimes things just happen, Cass. Well, that's great. I'm happy for you. I'm really happy.
Yeah, thanks.
The father, he'll be happy too, won't he?
Oh.
Alex, you do know who the father is, don't you?
Yes, Cassie. The father could only be one person. Bo.
Leanne Demarest testified that she found a gun hidden in the stables. Is this the gun that Mrs. Buchanan was using to threaten Mrs. Demarest? Well, is it?
It was, Ace's gun.
Did you hide this gun in the stable? Did you take the gun away from Mrs. Buchanan because she was threatening to kill Mrs. Demarest if Mrs. Demarest did not stop the blackmail payments and return to Texas?
Was on. The safety was on. Renee would never hurt anyone.
But she did threaten to kill her. She pointed that gun at her and threatened to kill her.
Yes, but she just wanted to scare her. That's all. She just wanted to scare her. She didn't want to shoot her.
You are a traitor to my family. Come on, you're the traitor. You bullied her into lying up there. We all know that Renee is innocent, but you're making her look guilty.
Renee, I'm sorry. I am so sorry.